so you guys are about to play a mixture of Canadian U.S. shows. How does your fan base in the U.S. compare to the Canadian fan base?
There's not as many of them. It's a slow, steady build down there. We've been grinding there for a number of years, but there was a time there when we put out an acoustic record where we didn't really tour the States much at all, and so we took a couple of years away. So we're back building a pretty good following now. I mean, we've toured there pretty extensively in the last 8 months, and it's starting to slowly turn around, getting better crowds every week, and every time we show up in a new place, and so I say it's good. It's dedicated.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Now, you guys obviously need to make a effort regularly to play U.S. to at least boost your and maintain your buzz.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's really difficult to make that decision to go down there every year?
Yeah, it's one of those things that I think we don't want to just be sitting around Canada just playing shows in Canada. We want to keep we kind of made the decision, as long as we're going to be a band, we're going to try to go to as many new places and try to build followings in as many other places as we possibly can afford to.
Yeah.
And so it's all part of keeping us on our toes and trying to stay edgy, and we want to make it down in the States because I feel like that's a huge market and it's just next door, it's like we do pretty good in Australia, but that's like an 18-hour flight. I mean, it's a 4-hour drive to Cleveland, Ohio, so it's just logistically makes a lot of sense for us to be having a good career down there, and we're so close. And the American rock fan, once they catch on to you, they're a great fan to have. So we're going to keep chipping away at the stone down there.
Yeah. Now you guys are lined up for a couple festivals this summer, including the Big Music Fest. What's the biggest benefit of a band at your level at these festival gigs provide you?
Biggest benefit?
Yeah.
I think you get the benefit of everybody else's audience that's on the bill, and vice versa, and new people get to see you that might not spend money to see just you, but they spend money to see, all 6 of the bands on the bill. Just the obvious stuff, and they're nice shows to play too. If it's a nice day, and it's just a great vibe. We have a great time playing the summer festivals. Yeah.
Is there any festival that you guys want to play each year that you never have time for that you really want to play?
Yeah, well, we always wanted to play Ottawa Blues Fest, and this will be the first summer that we're playing it.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, we've never been. It's never worked out in the past. We've all either been busy doing something else, but this time around it was. We got an offer, so we're really excited about that. We haven't been to Ottawa on this touring cycle, and so that'll be a great way to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty interesting. Have you never been able to play the Blues Fest yet?
Yeah, it just didn't work out, or we didn't get invited, or I don't know what it was. But this year we got our first kind of official offer, and it worked out. And
nice.
We're gonna go. We're headlining one of the stages. I think it's the same night that Metric's on one of the stages and Kane on, but we're not on the same stage as those guys. But we're on our own rock. I think all the bands with us are pretty rock-oriented bands, but I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. Your album Hope and Ruin was released a little over a year ago. Do you already have anything else in the works?
Definitely mental preparation for more things to be coming in to be in the works. We're just now kind of trying to get together all our little ideas that we've come up with over the last couple of years, and see if we got enough stuff to start making a record. It always kind of happens like that for us. We'll just get on some kind of groove, and the next thing you know, we'll have a bunch of tunes written, and it kind of all happens pretty quick. But we'll see. We'll see where it all ends up.
Do you ever revisit any of the older material that you've written before?
Like how so? Like recorded material or older?
Even recorded material, just stuff you've had written around your apartment.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that, because there was a couple songs that we wrote years and years ago that had either really terrible lyrics, so they just weren't very good, but they had a really good melodic thing. And I was actually sitting around my apartment writing the other day, and I remember this one song that we never recorded, never did anything with, but it had a nice melody in the chorus, and I kind of just said, "Oh, I'll just use that." No one's used that because it's our song. So, but I tend to look back on some of those ideas and wonder if there's things we can just take from that and put to our, because we know a lot more about songwriting now and song crafting, but sometimes when you're naive and you're just fooling around in your basement when you're 17 years old, you can come up with some really interesting music that's really outside the box, and you kind of happen upon it accidentally. And then the more you learn, the more you about music, the further you get away from those magical little moments that just happen because you didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was having different producers on each record made a noticeable impact on your catalog?
Yeah. We've definitely gotten away with a lot. I mean, I think we're pretty fortunate in the sense that we got away with, every album we've been able to do whatever we want. We always get a new producer. It's always in the name of, we don't want to be bored. We want to be excited. We don't want to go into a record thinking it's going to be predictable or boring for us. Like, there's always got to be an element of discovery in order for us to get inspired to write. And if we don't have that, then we're not going to write anything interesting or what we consider interesting or cool for us. And so that's part of the reason we always change up producers. I mean, mind you, the only risk that we've run into is people are like, well, I loved your last record, but now the new one sounds totally different, and like they have to get used to that, and then by the time they get used to that, you're already on to the next thing. And so
a good producer joins the band for the length of time that they're working, so there's always going to be a fingerprint that they leave behind, so every one of our records I can hear traits of the producer that produced them, all over it. Yeah. So but that's great. That's part of the fun of it too, having a new creative voice in the mix, so yeah. The fact that we have always changed producers is like we never set out to do that. We just sort of always, I guess, got restless and went for a different direction.
Especially with this latest one, you've co-produced the album yourself.
Yeah.
Did that help you out a lot?
Did it help me out? No, I don't. I think that I don't know if it helped us out. It was just like I think that I was just like a conduit for Gord to the rest of the band. So I think that I was just put in that position. I think I was always in that position for all the records, where I was sort of went out and got close with the producers, and then then everybody else gets to know them a little better later, So
he's our in-house diplomat.
Yeah. So that, I don't know if it helps. It's just the role I was, that I found myself in.
Mm-hmm. I'm really looking forward to the set tonight, especially the covers that you guys always throw in.
Yeah.
Now, I remember the one time we played Bohemian Rhapsody. Then next time it was Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Yeah. Now, what do you guys have in the works for tonight?
We worked out a couple of tribute songs to we're doing a tribute to Levon Helm, as every band across North America probably has been doing the last couple of weeks, and rightfully so. We lost a great man, great musician, but we're going to get a couple of the guys from the Tragically Hip Hop. They're going to come play the night they drove Old Dixie down with us, and they're also going to play up on Cripple Creek. So I think it'll be a fun thing. Yeah.
Now, how do you keep the set exciting for you guys each and every night?
So it can be challenging, but we try to do stuff like learn new cover tunes, try to play our own songs differently, rearrange things, play different types of guitar solos, and do variations on the melody, anything to keep it interesting for us. That's the important thing.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Appreciate that.
Thanks, Matt.